guys, a lot of big names at this weight division, and I'm just excited. You know, I'm ready to, like I said, I'm ready to take over the division one by one. I'm gonna knock them down one by one and show the world why, like I said, why I'm the best. And like I said, this is my division, and hopefully everybody continue to want to fight each other. You know, especially after I'm victorious on June 27th. You know, I'm going back to back to back to back. I'm trying to be undisputed, and which I will be undisputed at 154. So bring them all on. This is my division.
I could be considered in the pound for pound, and I could also be considered for fighter of the year. So I feel like those are the two goals after.
What happens when two of boxing's fastest rising stars come face to face with everything on the line? The tension was impossible to ignore as Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis finally stood across from each other in a dramatic head-to-head encounter that has the entire boxing world talking. From the moment they locked eyes, the atmosphere changed. There were no smiles, no friendly gestures, and no signs of backing down. Fans, analysts, and fighters alike watched closely as both men sent a powerful message without throwing a single punch. This wasn't just another promotional event, it felt like the beginning of a rivalry that could define an era. Xander Zayas entered with the confidence of a fighter who believes his time has arrived. Undefeated, hungry, and determined to prove he belongs among boxing's elite, Zayas looked completely unfazed by the challenge standing in front of him. But across the stage stood Jaron Ennis, one of the sport's most feared talents, a fighter known for his explosive power, elite skill set, and ability to dominate opponents. As cameras flashed and the crowd roared, neither man broke eye contact. The intensity grew with every passing second. You could almost feel the anticipation building as fans imagined what would happen if these two warriors eventually met inside the ring. Would Zayas' youth, speed, and confidence be enough to overcome Ennis's experience and devastating abilities? Or would Ennis once again prove why so many believe he's destined to become one of boxing's biggest superstars? Social media exploded with reactions as clips of the stare-down spread across the internet. Some fans saw a future champion in Zayas. Others believed Ennis looked more focused and dangerous than ever. One thing everyone agreed on, this was a moment that demanded attention. The question now is simple, was this just an intense face-off, or the first chapter of a future mega fight that could shake up the boxing world? Stay tuned, because if this confrontation is any indication, the story between Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis is only getting started, and the next move could change everything.
You and Xander Zayas in Brooklyn this summer, man, I was surprised he chose to fight you. Were you surprised he chose to fight you?
He ain't choose to fight me. I told Eddie and them to go get him. You know, after, negotiations or whatever fell through with, Ortiz and things like that. I told Eddie and my team, like, yo, go, make sure y'all go get Zayas next for me if we can't get, the Ortiz situation. And that's what they did for me. But I appreciate him for accepting the fight, because he didn't have to take this fight. He could have forced somebody.
Also, Ennis said he was sure he would win his upcoming fight with Xander Zayas. He doesn't think it matters how sure Zayas is that he can handle the fight because Ennis sees the division as his own. On June 27th, he planned to show it. He does well under pressure and can't wait to show off his skills and knock out his opponent.
The fact that he says yes to you, that says something about his confidence right now, doesn't it?
I don't know. With me, it don't matter. Like I said, this is my division, and no matter how much confidence he got, this is my division, and I'm about to show the world and stamp it come June 27th. That's what I've been waiting for, and being on a big stage. And y'all know when a big fight is in hand, y'all know I come alive when a big fight is in hand and the stakes is high. That's when I shine my best, and I'm excited. I can't wait to show the world, the rest of my abilities and put on a beautiful.
But Xander Zayas thought that if he beat Jaron Ennis on June 27th, he would be in the running for the pound-for-pound list and the Fighter of the Year title. After Ennis, he wanted to fight Josh Kelly and then Sebastian Fondora. Assuming that neither the organizers nor the TV networks are to blame.
You win this fight and how you see it in your head, do you feel that you would deserve to be on the top 10 pound for pound?
I feel like after winning June 27th, I could be considered in the pound for pound, and I could also be considered for Fighter of the Year. So I feel like those are the two goals after June 27th.
In your head, who would be your next three opponents? You could include Boots in this. Who's the next two after that should you win that fight? If there's no No promoter issues, no network issues. Who you want in what order?
Boots. I want to say Josh Kelly, Sebastian Fundora. I want to say those two names.
So you want to be undisputed at 154?
I would love to. I mean, if all the stars.
Another thing Zayas said was that he wanted to be the undisputed winner and that Sebastian Fundora would be his toughest opponent. Fundora is hard to prepare for because he is tall and stands southpaw. Because Za can't find training partners who can properly copy Fundora's style, he thinks that Fundora is the most awkward champion because of these traits.
Sebastian Fundora, I feel like, because of the length of how tall he is, he's lefty.
Right.
You know, getting sparring for him was gonna be difficult, trying to find somebody that mimics him pretty well. So I feel like I've always said it. I think like out of all the champions, he's always been like not the toughest, but definitely the more awkward one.
Promoter Okoye said that he showed Xander Zayas' fighting style by showing how to tell the difference between him throwing real hits and just throwing quick ones. Zayas' hits are quick but not very strong when he stays on the center line. But it's easy to spot when his head starts to move to the left during a conversation. Then he gets ready to hit with a hard right hand or a strong left hook to the body or head, putting all of his weight behind each blow.
Tape of Xander Zayas.
Right.
And you kind of touched on that, you know, he gets himself in certain spots where he doesn't throw punches. Go ahead and elaborate on it.
So when he's in the middle, so when he's on the center line, he might throw punches, but there's no power behind him. And if he's sitting on his right hand, same thing. He throws punches, quick shots, but those aren't the really dangerous shots. When he's trying to exchange and he wants to hurt you, you'll see his head go off center to the left over and over again. So he peaks, sort of like, I remember Salvador Sanchez used to hit you with those Jones, but then he'll peek over. So he'll peek over, throw a quick right hand, or he'll peek over, and if you freeze, or if he catches the right look that he's looking for, he's shooting a left hook or left hand to the body or left hand to the head almost every time. You know what I mean? And he throws with weight and with power. That's what he does to try to hurt his opponent.
AOE thought that Xander Zayas was a skilled fighter who could move and throw a lot of punches but didn't have the power to knock out someone with just one punch. He was great at trades, which AOI thinks is a weakness against Jaron Ennis. AOE said that Zayas' tendency to fight close to the body and trade blows with Ennis, who is stronger, would be dangerous. He didn't think Zayas would be able to change his style to a more sneaky boxer-puncher style for the whole fight. Even on paper, AOE thought that Ennis had the better style if Zayas didn't change it when he called the fight.
Has good punch output, good pop, but he's not a devastating puncher either. You know what I'm saying? So his movement is good, his punch output is good, he's sharp, he got pop, but you know, his strength is exchanges, and you don't want to exchange with Boots because you don't got the same pop Boots has, and you don't want to punch in between shots with Boots. That's going to be a problem for him. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can change his stripes and stay on his bicycle for 12 rounds and kind of stay behind a jab, or try to be like more of a boxer puncher rather than a puncher boxer the way he is right now, because he fights like a puncher, but he doesn't have that one punch KO power, but he right there exchanging with you in the mix, and that's going to be a problem against Boots, I think. So I looked at it like a good fight on paper, like it's a good 50-50 fight. They both big dudes, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right.
In an Instagram story, Xander Zayas showed himself sparring with Tiger Johnson, an undefeated title hopeful, to get ready for his fight against Jaron Boots Ennis. So, this shows that Zayas is really into the fight and wants to get better at dealing with Ennis's way of fighting. But Boots Ennis is more sure of himself and says he is the best in the welterweight division and the cash cow that all athletes who want to make a lot of money have to go through. When asked about Sebastian Fundora, a possible opponent, and how he fights, he laughed it off and said Fundora is just a big pressure fighter. Ennis told Keith Thurman, who lost to Fundora, that he should be careful and disciplined when fighting taller opponents. He stressed how important it was to control the pace and deny them room to cancel out their height advantage.
Come to me regardless through this weight division. Like I said before, I'm the cash cow of this division. If anybody want to fight, they're going to make the most money fighting me than anybody else. So I feel like I'm the cash cow of this division, and I'm the best at this division.
What do you think of Fundora's style? It's very unique.
I mean, I don't know. Like, he's just tall. He's tall. Like I said, I don't watch him, so I can't really sit here and like explain. Like when the time come, I'll watch him. But as of right now, so from this little stuff that I be seeing, it's like he's just a tall pressure fighter. From the stuff that I be seeing.
What'd you feel about him losing to Keith Thurman, losing to Fundora? What do you feel like Keith Thurman should have did to deal with a guy that tall? Since you're used to dealing with bigger guys. So
with taller guys, you got stay in their chest. You got to be in their chest. You got to dog them out. And and don't let them get no room to.
When Zayas and Ennis finally met, the stress was at its highest. Both fighters talked to each other close up, and neither one was ready to give up. Zayas made fun of Ennis's small size by calling him a baby and small. Ennis replied that he would show Zayas what he's really made of. There was a lot of heat between the two fighters. They were both sure the other wasn't ready for what was about to happen.
That's the closest you can get to home. That's the closest you're going to get to. I guarantee that. I guarantee that. Guys, Xander and Jaron, I never would have been career long. No 154, Jaron Ennis in his second fight in the junior middleweight division. I guarantee you, man, I'm not going to tell you. I ain't gonna miss. I ain't gonna miss. Small, man. You're small. You small. You're a baby. I'm gonna show you.
Both guys very confident going into this fight.
Hey guys, let's go ahead, boys.
That way.
Sean Zattel thinks Boot Ennis will win this fight. He said that Ennis would beat Xander Zayas in their next fight, but that Zeus would be a tough and well-prepared opponent. He does think, though, that Ennis will finally take over as the fight goes on. Zittel says that Ennis will win in the end by a score of 116 to 111, and that Zayas will be knocked down at some point. Even though Ennis knocked Zayas out, he doesn't think the fight will end early. Instead, he expects a tough fight where Ennis clearly beats Zayas in the end.
Rounds with Karan Chukajan. I think Zayas is going to make it to the finish line. He may not, because Ennis will really rise to this occasion, but I think Zayas is going to rise to this occasion too. So I think he'll hold. I think the kid is going to hold his own and give a solid account for himself. And my early pick is 116-111 Ennis with a knockdown along the way, but 8-4. Not 10-2, not a stoppage. I think it's going to be in that ballpark. 8-4. Maybe 7-5, maybe 9-3, but I do think you see Ennis at some point overwhelm and hurt the kid and drop him, but the kid will pull through it and keep fighting. Anyways, like Roy said at the beginning of our video that Sean Zittel would go on to say that Boots Ennis would finally beat Zayas, hurt him, and drop him. Zittel said that Ennis was one of the best punctuators in boxing because he could drop his hands, set traps, and make opponents miss before landing clean blows, even though he thought Zeus would win the fight. The thing is, he brought up a big worry for Zayas. Neither his hand speed nor his hitting power are as good as Ennis. Zayas has good angles and smart footwork that don't get enough credit, but he doesn't have Ennis's smooth, water-like athletic movement that makes him so dangerous. Zittel said that Zayas had to stay in a smaller area, but Ennis was free to move around the ring, missing with a left and then ending with a right. Conclude with a right, and he's one of the best punctuators in boxing. As Teddy Atlas, that's me on my Teddy Atlas. He's a terrific punctuator, right? But one thing that's going to be a problem for Zayas is he doesn't have quite the hand speed, the punching power, and the dexterity with his upper body that Jaron Ennis has. Ennis can flow like water all over the place with his upper body movement, and Zayas is more of a using his feet and his hands for defensive positioning. He's not gonna, and he's got good angles. He's got underrated angles that could surprise Ennis and those of us picking Ennis in this fight. He takes some good angles off his very educated feet, but he doesn't have that quick pull count. He's got some pull counters, but not like Ennis. He doesn't have that quick, fluid, water-like, can make any kind of athletic movement on the fly. He's got to stay within a more...
Showbiz says that Xander Zayas is Boots Ennis's toughest opponent so far in confirmed fights. He thinks Ennis will win, but Zeus will be a tough opponent. Showbiz says it will be a surprise if Zeus pulls off the upset, which makes him wonder if he underestimated Ennis or just missed Zayas' ability. In any case, He made it clear that Zayas is very smart and can bring this fight a lot closer than most people think.
Is Boots' toughest opponent to date. As far as announced, we're not sure what's going to happen in the fight. Do I have Boots as of right now? Yeah. But I think Xander Zayas is going to give Boots trouble. I do. I think it's a good fight. If Xander Zayas were to win, that would be like, holy sh**. I'm not sure what that would mean. Maybe I overrated Boots too much. You know, Boots, I have Boots in my top 5 pound for pound, actual best fighters in the world. Xander Zayas, if he were to beat him, I don't know if that's me overrating Boots or if we're not looking at Xander Zayas right. Either way, Xander Zayas is extreme.
Showbiz thought that Boots Ennis was a better fighter than Xander Zayas. Based on fighting skills alone, he thinks Shakur Stevenson is the best fighter in the world and Ennis is the second best. He's not talking about awards or accomplishments, he's just talking about skill in the ring. And that's why he thinks Boots will win, unless everyone has been wrong about him.
A more skilled boxer than Xander Zayas. I think Boots is phenomenal. I got him as the second best fighter in the world. I got Shakur Stevenson one. And when I say that, I'm not talking about accolades, what they've achieved, achievements and stuff like that. I'm just talking about boxing ability. That's why I think Boots beat him. Unless, like my man said, he's not as good as I think. And I said that when the fight was announced.
Now we'll talk about the training. Xander Zayas is getting ready for a fight that might happen. He is hitting the heavy bag hard with a lot of powerful bursts. He looked focused and ready to fight Boots Ennis. The workout video showed that he was ready for a tough fight.
Getting ready for my next fight, and I want to wish a happy 28th to my favorite prostate.
Xander Zayas shows off his quick punching speed and accurate footwork in the gym. He looks very quick, sure of himself, and focused. The workout video makes it look like he is ready for the fight with Boots Ennis. But Jaron Ennis is working hard to get ready for his fight with Xander Zayas that is coming up soon. During training, he is throwing huge shots that show how strong and quick he is. Boots looks bright, angry, and totally focused on fight night. He looks like he is ready to force his will on everyone in the ring by how he is preparing. Interview 15. Things are set up for Xander Zayas and Jaron Boots Ennis to get into a heated argument. Both fighters are putting in a lot of hard work in their training and speaking with confidence. They are sure they can win. The experts aren't sure what to say. Some people think Ennis is smarter than him, while others think Zeus will put him to the test. As of June 27th, the ring will finally put an end to the reports. We're getting more and more excited until then. Like and follow to make sure you don't miss any news about this fight. We'll be here as soon as the bell rings and the smoke clears.